Alright, so what's the first thing you think of when I say Ring of Fire? You might be thinking of a circus, jumping through a ring of fire. You might be thinking of the song by Johnny Cash, you know, Burning Ring of Fire. Classic. That is not what I'm talking about today. I am talking about this beautiful Ring of Fire philodendron. And I just thought I would check on this plant, do a little repot, have a little chat with you guys. I'm gonna be honest, talking to my phone is like, it feels really awkward. I'm not used to this. I feel strange. I feel awkward. So, but I'm an awkward person anyways. So, and funny thing, I talk to myself all the time. And so I figure, instead of just talking to myself, I'm just going to talk to myself like normal, except for press the record button. So that's my plan. And let's just enjoy this awkwardness together. It's supposed to be peaceful, relaxing, plants, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what I'm saying now. Okay, so I got this Ring of Fire philodendron about a year ago, and I typically leave them in their original pot when I purchase them for quite a while. If they don't need to be repotted, I usually don't, unless there's something wrong with it, unless there's like you're treating it for pests or whatever. So I typically just leave it in there, let it chill, let it adapt, let it do its thing. But I've been noticing that it needs some TLC. So I have some, as you can see, something happened to this leaf, got damaged somehow. Not sure how, but it did. These leaves here are kind of yellowing, and I just noticed that the new leaves that are coming through here are smaller than the normal. They're growing in smaller. How many times am I gonna say that? Repeat, repeat, repeat. That's what I do. Anyways, so I'm gonna check and see what's going on in here. Don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's look at the roots. All right, so it's still damp, and the the roots, they don't look too bad, actually. I don't see any sign of root rot or anything, so I think I'm just gonna freshen it up, cut off the dead stuff, and I'm not really gonna mess with it too much, but it is still damp, and the roots do seem pretty healthy, I would say. So let's just freshen it up. So I think I'm going to use the same size pot. I don't think it needs to be up potted while I am making a giant mess, but that's what happens, right? When you're a plant person, I have dirt all everywhere. Okay, but I noticed that this dirt here is just, it's just like falling apart. So that's good, actually. That means it's easier to repot. I wasn't gonna mess with the roots, but here I am, for some reason, doing that. Okay, yeah, it's probably a good thing I did this, actually. So something funny about me is I have always loved plants ever since I was a little kid, and what inspired me was my grandparents and my mom. My mom always had houseplants in the house growing up. My grandma, she had full-blown gardens. She made all her own stuff. Oh, it's got one of those fabric things on it that big box stores do. At least it's not plastic, but it's a fabric one, so that might have been halting its growth, but maybe not, I don't know. Let me try to get this off. Anyway, so yeah, I loved plants ever since I was a little kid. I would get those cactuses with the orange and the yellow and the red tops all the time, and I used to try really hard to take care of them, but they'd always end up dying, but I still had a lot of fun doing it anyways. And my grandma also used to keep fabric, wrapped fabric. My grandma used to have African violets in her window, and she gave me one time when I was, I don't know, 12, something like that. And I thought it was so cool, but I mean, I of course ended up killing it because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. But that's kind of how it is. It's a journey. You learn through everything you go through, whatever I'm trying to say, I don't know. But, so that's kind of where my love for plants began. And then I've always had some kind of house plant in my house and loved gardening. And then the last like 4 years is when I really took off my collection and my like learning my knowledge of indoor plants and the varieties and the different kinds and the how you take care of them, and that's when it really began, the last 4 years. So, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. I think it's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend if you want to start getting into plants. I think that it's fun. I mean, it's one of the most natural things on the earth is all the plants that grow. I mean, plants have so many beneficial qualities for everything. So, and houseplants, I just think it's a fun hobby, honestly. I just love seeing all the different kinds, all the different types, and I love seeing something grow and mature. And you know, you did that, like you nurtured it, you took care of it, it grew, it produced, you propagated it. I love that feeling, you know, or like in the garden when you grow tomatoes and you get your tomatoes. I love that feeling of like, I made this happen, I grew this, like I did something. But I mean, of course there's going to be battle wounds, you know, like I have unalived so many plants in my life, like so many plants, but that's kind of just how it is. All right, so I got the fabric off it, and now I'm gonna freshen it up and put it in a new pot. I might put it in a smaller pot actually. So yeah, let's do this. Better clean this up. Kind of. So I think I'm gonna put it in this terracotta terracotta pot. Put the plant in the pot. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think that'll fit nicely. It's a little bit smaller than its original pot. I think this one looks like, I'm not good with measurements. I wing it, honestly. This is, I think, a 6-inch pot. So we're doing that. All right. I just like to feel it out and just. Okay, so scoop it in there, shimmy it down. Okay. Think I could use some more on the top. Tulips. I do not know why I'm singing now. I think she's good. And water. Water is a good thing to do next. Give this plant a thorough soaking. Get out of my face here. Okay. So after giving it a full soak, I'm gonna let it sit in this water for a little while, not too long, but a little while, and help it kind of get cozied up into its new home. And hopefully we'll be seeing some new growth and bigger leaves, and yeah. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me and enjoying this awkward and probably boring conversation. conversation, honestly, but oh well. Who cares?